What's up, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to another episode of The Wrap Up, Borderline Entertainment's weekly entertainment news wrap-up show where we take the top stories in entertainment news and rank them. What is the best? What is the worst? What is the funniest? And then what is my personal favorite topic in entertainment news? This episode is brought to you by our patrons. My Anyways, thank you so much, patrons. You can be a supporter too. Head over to patreon.com/borderline entertainment. You can support us there today. And actually, just by watching, just by liking this video, just by commenting on this video, you are supporting. So don't feel pressured to give monetarily, but know that when you do, you help make the production value a little bit better, which there's already going to be some slight improvements coming off of last week. But in case you don't know, let me give you a little bit of a rundown on how the show works. Like I said at the top, we take these entertainment news stories, right? And we rank them. You know, we give them awards. We have the apple, the onion, the banana, and the muffin. All right, those are our trophies, our mascots, and we will bestow those awards to certain people throughout the show. Now, you get to be a part of the show too. All right, now sometimes it will be live. This episode, just like last week's, is not, but that doesn't mean that you can't comment down below and let me know, what do you think about our winners? Should it have been somebody else? And make sure that you stay tuned on social media so you can see when the episodes are going to be live on Twitch. Then your comments and your ideas and your conversations will be on the screen and you'll be a part of the show. But enough is enough. Let's get started with our Apple of the Week, the best story in entertainment news. And this actually goes to PlayStation. Congratulations, PlayStation. You get the Apple of the Week. You are the best story in entertainment news. Now, PlayStation and Xbox, they came out with new consoles recently. Now, they did come out with these new consoles during the heightened COVID times. And in those times, it was really hard to get a console. If you went through the whole process, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. There was a massive shortage. You had to request your spot in line. Hopefully you could even get into a queue and even get a console. I remember myself, it literally, like, we would enter into multiple queues for multiple different vendors day after day. And then finally, like midstream, my wife was able to pick one up, and it was a revelation that I was able to actually get a PS5. You don't have to go through that any longer. Now, with no hassle, you get to go to a store and just pick one up. Just like that, without fighting over it. And not only is that a possibility, now they've also released a little trailers, kind of like a fun like news recap, talking about this news, because it really is such a big deal. COVID impacted so many people, and especially companies when it came to being able to match the demand. And during COVID, there was a lot of demand for games, especially for these new generation of consoles. So congratulations again, Sony, you did it. You got the Apple of the Week, the best story in entertainment news. But as we know, here on the wrap-up, not all news is good news. And that unfortunately brings me to our next award, the Onion, the worst story in entertainment news this week. And that goes to Arrested Development and Netflix. Honestly, it goes to Netflix more than it goes to Arrested Development. So let me bite my tongue on that one. If you haven't seen Arrested Development, you need to do so, first of all, because it's about to be leaving Netflix, but second of all, because it's a hilarious show. Now, a lot of those jokes could not be told today, and it's wild the things that they got away with, but it was a cult classic. It ended up getting canceled after its very, very short 3-season run on, I believe, Fox at the time. But then Netflix is the company that brought it back with a 4th season and then a 5th season. Now, those seasons were not as good as the original 3, but it still continued the story. Like, we still got to see those characters, the Bluth family in their antics, not able to do their chicken dances, but either way, it was a good time. And it's one of those shows, kind of like The Office, or kind of like Parks and Rec, or, you know, maybe that 90s show, who knows, but it's one of those shows that is a comfort food show. So if you're late at night, whether you're just hanging out or you just want to relax with some friends or just turn on the TV and just zone out for the day, Arrested Development was always there for you. And it really sucks to see this show go. Now, this article in particular comes from Polygon. So, thank you so much, Pete Volk, for writing this article and letting the good people know that Arrested Development, the cult favorite sitcom about a dysfunctional wealthy family, will leave Netflix in March. So, all 5 seasons, even the 2 that were brought back, like I said, by Netflix themselves, are going to be gone March 15th. This is, I will say it again until I'm blue in the face. This is the worst news in entertainment news this week. No, not a good look for you, Netflix. I don't know what the whole thought process is behind it. I mean, there was some story to it. Originally Fox, like I said, they had them and they ended up canceling it. And so the show has undergone a lot of limbo, but now that this is, it's been brought back and removed, the only way that you're going to be able to get it is if you have like a physical copy of the show. So now that it's removing it, this is potentially going to be one of those shows that's lost in time. But not congratulations. Boo to you, Netflix. You get the Onion of the Week. But enough of the sadness. Let's get some uplifting. And I say uplifting because we're going to the Banana of the Week, which we all know is the funniest topic in entertainment news this week. And when I say funny, let's just roll with it. Okay. The Banana of the Week goes to Xbox and Microsoft because they came out with a statement saying that Game Pass is actually not as profitable as they had led us to believe. Now, this is where I find the humor, okay? If you didn't see the tweet that went out this week, I am going to be on Xbox Chatter Days, so there's going to be a prolonged conversation there. But just to give you a little bit of what I'm thinking, of why I think that this is a little bit humorous. Number one, you can't fault Game Pass, okay? Game Pass changed the gaming industry as a whole, similar to when Netflix brought in the streaming. We're never going to look back, okay? The industry is never going to be the same. We've already seen Nintendo and PlayStation come up with their own versions, for better or for worse, of this whole, like, here you pay for this service and you get all of these games at your disposal and you can download them and play them at your leisure. Knowing that this was, and still is, this is Xbox's flagship program, I would say right now. If you buy an Xbox, whether it is an Xbox Series X, Series S, if you just have a device that you're streaming your Game Pass games to, Game Pass still, it is the front runner. It is the thing that is pushing Xbox forward. And I had my suspicions that it was not as profitable, because I remember when in the early years of Game Pass, they were talking about how, like, hey, this is actually a really great deal for the industry. We're making a lot of money off of it. And I know that there are deals where they will pay, especially for indie developers. I feel like Game Pass is a sweet deal, because they'll get paid up front, and people who might not have had access to their game are going to get a chance to play it. And that's great. But hearing that they're losing money, while again, I don't think this means that Game Pass goes anywhere. What I do think that this means is that maybe Game Pass is going to have to undergo some changes, so it is a little bit more profitable. Now, that could mean anything from a price hike, which I think indefinitely we will see, for something this high value, and the fact that they're never going to get rid of their day-and-date release cadence. They need to be able, this needs to be a profitable service. So seeing a price hike is probably going to happen. I think that maybe they could, not that PlayStation service is the best in the world, but maybe they take a page out of PlayStation's book and give us game trials for maybe some of the bigger games that aren't included onto Game Pass. So on PlayStation service, for example, Cyberpunk 2077, you've heard all the crap about that. You're not sure if you really want to drop the cash. You can download the game trial, which is the full game in its entirety, but you only have 2, 3, 4 hours to play it. You're still getting your trophies, you're still getting your game saves and your experience, but now you get to actually test out the game, still reap the rewards and benefits from playing it, and see if that's something that you want to do. Like, is this a game that you want to play? And I think that if they were to do that, they might be able to see some more residuals, and I'm not running the business, so now I'm just talking out of my butt. We might be able to see some growth there. But still, the fact that we're going back and forth, oh, Game Pass is making a ton of money. No, Game Pass is not. It's just a little bit funny that we're just going back and forth with it. So congratulations, Xbox. You do get the banana of the week. And that brings us to our last award, the muffin of the week, the deliciousest, or as I call my personal favorite story in entertainment news. And that goes to a big old purple dinosaur that you know and I know, that we love so much. Your friend and mine. Well, unless were not born in the 90s, and you probably have no idea who he is. It goes to Barney the dinosaur. I never thought that I would say that. I never thought those words would ever come out of my mouth, that Barney the dinosaur is going to win an award on the wrap-up, that they're going to not only be nominated, but then win? Barney is coming back. So this is a story that's coming from NBCnews.com, written by Kalon Rosenblatt. Plenty of celebrities get makeovers as they age, and Barney the dinosaur is no different. Now, we all know, like I said, Barney came out in the 90s, but its run was actually not that long. You still had PJ and I think Bebop, so like other characters were brought in over time, and then they did the Barney the Dinosaur, the movie, and then after that, the show pretty much died off. But it's looking like we're going to get a reboot of the show in 2024, and we got our first look, and I don't have that image to show you now. I do encourage you to look at it because it's going to be a 3D animated show. Like your Pixar's, like your DreamWorks. But Barney kind of looks a little bit goofy. Barney used to be a person in a puppet suit, and now we're going to be getting Barney looking like he's made by Illumination Studios. At least he's not voiced by Chris Pratt. That's one thing that we have going for it. But still, like I said, 2024, we can look to see Barney coming back to the silver screen. This is going to be something to try and revive. We usually see this kind of thing happen where nothing old has ever gone forever. There's all these reboots, remakes, remasters, and whatnot, and it looks like children's TV icons are not they're not safe from that process. So this is an opportunity, a chance to bring Barney the dinosaur to a whole other generation of children. Please let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Barney's new look? It looks like there's a lot of backlash, a lot of confusion as to why they made Barney look the way he does. So I'm telling you, I need to have your opinions. I apologize that I didn't put it in here, but please let me know in the comments below, what do you think about Barney the dinosaur and his new look? Thank you again, everybody, so much. Congratulations again to PlayStation for winning the Apple of the Week, Netflix for winning the Onion of the Week, Xbox for getting the banana, and then Barney the dinosaur with the muffin. If you have people that you think deserve these awards better, please let me know in the comments down below. What should have been the best? What was the worst thing that happened in entertainment the past week? What was the funniest story that I missed out on? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you again. Please consider subscribing. Consider liking this video, and I will say it again forever and ever. Your comments and you watching this video itself is super helpful. So have a wonderful day. Be well, Borderline family. We'll see you next time.